Welcome everyone. Welcome to Home Theater Hub number 22.
Let's get to Adrian's home theater.
Yeah, so now we got you.
Okay, cool.
Very
So
nice.
let's start with the rack.
I'll put you in full
Can
screen.
you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
Absolutely.
Loud and
We'll
clear.
come back to the pièce de résistance.
I like that carpet.
Yeah,
I noticed that as well. I really did like that. It's got a cool design.
It's upscaled, man.
And I think I saw a Def Tech Center.
Yeah, this is a lot of Def Tech stuff. This is my office. This has got an 7.2.4. And
is that the new
heights.
Sony?
Huh? Yeah, it's a 5000. It's the new 5000 ES.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I reviewed it.
How do you like the setups that has a lot of setups in there?
Oh yeah. There's I got it. Yeah, I mostly game in here and watch TV, put on the news while I work, kind of thing. And let's go to the rack.
Oh, I like that basement, man.
Yeah, well, we didn't know we were getting a tour of the house, but this is keep going.
That's something we don't get in Texas, man. Basement homes, man. I wish we did.
And there's my Zydu Apple TV. There's a sheet up there. Receiver for the master bedroom. This is the sub amp for the family room for the in-wall subs. This is the receiver for the family room. This is the receiver for my rec room that you just saw with the arcade machine. This is the video distribution unit. It's called an Atlona. It has, I think you can put up to 8 inputs into it, 8 HDMIs, and have up to 10 outputs. So I feed everything into here, and then I can put it on any of these like receivers.
You know, ever since I saw that stuff on your channel, I've been looking for it.
There's Anthem, AVM 78K, and my 2 Emotiva amps, 17 channels of amplification there. That's got the harmony there, and you know. And I have, there's my control for like the brains, I guess the processor, whatever it's called. I forgot the name of it, the actual name. Like modem. This is for my Wi-Fi setup here.
Cloud key, Unify cloud key. I know what that is.
Xbox, just the simple UB420 4K Blu-ray player because it's for a projector, and you don't need Dolby Vision, so this is fine. I got a couple more. Got another Apple TV back there, another Shield. This stuff is like for the house. This is like this I do for the house. I call it for the house. That means it's going through that distribution unit.
Yeah.
Old PlayStation 4. I have an audio matrix down here. That's for whole house audio, and it's all controlled on my Control 4.
So, are you running? I see you got some tubes in there and all that. Is that plumbing, or is that what you use to use wire?
No, this is plumbing stuff. This was actually we expanded this closet. I actually covered it on my channel.
Yeah.
This closet used to be
closed,
like go up to here, like the racks were actually like facing sort of like sideways in here, and there were doors going into the theater, hold on, my wife just texted me. Okay. I thought she said she was going to tell me to keep it down. Here, here, we'll cover that, and I'll answer any questions you got.
So the audio matrix.
Yeah.
What brand is it?
It's an Episode. It's a like a distributor brand. It's not like a consumer brand. You have to buy it on like Snap AV or something, and you got to be like you got to buy a third party, like a dealer guy, and it's an episode. It's you can actually buy these at Lona's through there too. Even though I bought this one on eBay, this typically goes for about 10 grand if you buy it new. I bought it for 4. So,
yeah. And the Atlona passes 4K, right? For the
it can.
video. Okay.
It can do 4K. It's supposed to do Dolby Vision, but up to 30 hertz. But I can't get it to work. It can only get HDR10 to work, which is okay. I mean, I'm fine with that.
For a projector, right? So.
No. I mean, this is for the TVs around the house.
Oh, okay.
Like that. Yeah, but I can show it on the projector as well. But I have separate sources for the theater because I want to have the best quality because this is gonna. Lona's gonna sort of downscale. It's sort of.
How is this all
let's get this straight. We
controlled?
What?
Let me get this straight for receivers. You got the Onkyo, the RZ. You got the Yamaha.
Yeah.
You got the Sony.
No, it's a Denon.
Well, the Sony's in the other room, right?
Yeah, it's in the other room.
And then you have the Denon. So what is your main source for the theater?
Oh, it's an Anthem.
Oh, so we got an Anthem too.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, I thought Giles had a lot of receivers and gear.
This is all being used. So.
His rack is packing, bro.
This is not what I expected, to be honest with you.
No, this is not expensive. This is expensive. Let's be. This is Control 4 is expensive because it costs.
Right.
It's like $3 grand to buy this thing, but it costs more to like program it.
Exactly.
Okay, so that was my question. So you've got Control 4 home wide that's controlling all of this.
Yeah, I'll show you that in a sec. Let me go over here. Let me show you the rest, and then we'll answer questions.
Let's see that setup too. Look at
this. This is the Rec Room Theater. This is a 7. No, it's a 5.2. 5.2.4. So it's got 4 heights. See, I went with height. I didn't want to have a ton of stuff in the ceiling. I got. There's obviously no walls to put surrounds.
Right.
So I had to go with the in-ceiling heights, and I didn't want to have like a ton of 6 speakers on the ceiling. So I just went with heights for the Atmos speakers there. And here,
Adrian, I gotta make you laugh. Somebody in the chat just said you've got 80.4.12.
Yeah, speak of it.
Come on, bro. That is awesome.
Something like that. And I got that's the bar TV again. This is all I can have like a game on here and 2 games for that video distribution Lona thing, and over here. This is sort of like a guest room, but I sort of also use it as my 2-channel setup, but it's also a theater. So I got another receiver down there. That's that's just basic Costco Onkyo. I think I bought for $400. It's one of the best values in AV equipment, period, full stop. And I have this is my dad's old Macintosh that he gave me. This is from the 70s.
Ooh, 2100.
Nice.
And I got it, even though,
you got the tuner there too, the Macintosh tuner.
I got this is a tube tuner. It uses, it's tubes. It actually takes a second to warm up. If you turn it on, it takes like a minute to warm up.
Yep. Nice.
And it looks like you got the gold mirror Tritons. Is that what those are?
Yeah, these are Triton 2s.
Triton 2s. That's the sole reason I went to Exponent, because I wanted to hear those.
They are surgical. They are so good.
Yeah, I will agree. They are very good.
The thing about it is you don't need a Macintosh to power these things because they got built-in amps. And I have them on an amp switcher here, even though they're it's probably be a no-go for a lot of purists out there. But I can switch it over. I can switch the Tritons over to the receiver, and I got.
And what about the center there? Is that the Super Center?
That is not the biggest one they make. Now they make a bigger one. At the time when I bought it, it was the biggest one they made. It's like the middle one.
Right. And what those
It's
have
got the,
what like I think they have 2 6x9s in the top for bass or something like that.
I think they're passive. This one's
Okay.
all this is all passive.
I see.
The theater one has a powered sub, but I'll show you
I
that
see.
later.
They've
And
got
these
a
are my
lot of similarities
these
to
are Triton.
that.
These are my good old Triton 7s. These are the first ones I bought, and I love the brand so much that I went with I bought the Triton. So that what a waste. It kind of bums me out because I know that they're like totally good enough to like be. They're really good. These are really great speakers. They go down to about 30 hertz too, and they're passive.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the Triton. I like the Golden Ear speakers. They do sound really well. I actually thought about doing the Triton 2s. I thought about buying 4 of those and
They
using
raised the
them.
prices, man. I like now they're legitimately kind of expensive. I bought them when they were much cheaper. So when they were
Is that a turntable player? What model is that?
what
A
turntable?
vinyl record player? Yeah.
That is a project debut. It's not
Nice.
expensive. It was probably like $500, but it's got a carbon fiber tone arm.
Nice.
It's fine. It's got a pretty good cartridge. It's got an Ortofon Red, I think it's called.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, I know I got this all running on a Harmony, and got just an Onkyo CD player down there. So I think I got it set to transport as a CD transport to the Onkyo, and then I have it also running RCAs to the Mac over there. So CD transport meaning like I use the optical.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's go to the theater.
Let's do the theater, man. I'm enjoying
know,
all the
right?
rest.
I'm like, I wonder what else. I wonder what's in the theater.
Got Trigger over there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm just impressed by the fact that I'm trying to get carbon fiber trim on my car, and he's got it on his record player. That is
Now,
what
did
is the
you make
0
a
to
vid-
60?
Did you make a video modding that arcade, your pinball over there?
I did.
That's where I've seen you. Okay. I was like, you do. That's where I think I've seen your first video. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I made it that's an old video, and that didn't
Yeah,
get a ton
yeah,
of views,
yeah.
but
That's that.
it was
Yeah,
a passion project.
Yeah, okay, but that was like, man, I've seen you before, but it wasn't registering that it was from something totally different than this.
I'm actually building another arcade machine soon, but this is an upright like arcade machine, and I don't know if I'll make a video about it. I'm not gonna like. I'll make a video. I may make a video where I like just talk about it after it's done. I'm not gonna like go over like everything like I did in the other one, but yeah, I'm gonna try to back up so you can kind of get a view.
Dude,
So let's start with the screen.
because I think we have similar speakers. I think those are 8,000. Oh, sorry. Start with the screen. I'll shut up.
Screen's
I'm all
165.
excited. It's Def Tech. Nobody has Def Tech. Sorry.
Everybody, and there's nothing wrong with Def Tech. I mean, they're fine.
There's absolutely not.
There's nothing wrong with Def Tech. I've heard, a lot of people talk about the new tower. These are the 8080 STs, so these are 3 generations old. A lot of people say that the new ones are like blow your mind, can like do anything, like can go toe to toe with any other speaker out there.
Yeah,
like the new one. Even these are fantastic.
I'll tell you, I've got 9060 left, right, 9080 center, 9080s for my rear side and rear surrounds. I've had audio files in here that have $200,000 theater rooms blown away by Def Tech. Like their flagship stuff is amazing, man.
Yeah, these are the big ones. They're older than yours, but these have the 12-inch subs built in.
Well, the guy that made Golden Ear made those speakers too, right?
Yeah, that's what I was asking earlier, because I was like, there's so many. When you were talking about your Golden Ears, I'm like, there's a lot of similarities between Def Tech and
I guess I'm so old, I still can't get over when people say Def Tech. I'm like, what is Def Tech? Because it was always definitive technology.
Yeah.
It was never. Yeah. I was like, what the hell's Def Tech? And then someone said, I was like, oh,
definitive.
Okay. What? Like I'm so old.
No, thanks for throwing that out there. No, thanks, Paul, because we're probably losing people. So thank you for that.
So okay,
let's talk about the
screens
screen and the front stage and go back.
Screen is 165 inch. It's an Elite Screens. It's not like a crazy expense. I mean, it's not cheap. It was like, I think it was like $850, it was under $900. It's a white screen. Obviously, since I wanted to project to 165, and I'm not buying a $20,000 projector. I mean, I got a UB Epson 6050 UB up there. You can't see it too well, but it's there. And it's I needed gain. I needed positive gain. I couldn't have, so I went with a white screen, and I got the 1.3 gain screen. So this is plenty bright for given.
So what's the room dimensions and what's the throw distance on that?
Okay, so dimension, so it's about 20. It's over 21 feet deep, and about 21 feet wide. So it's a squarish room. It's not quite a square. It's not a perfect square. It's a little, I don't know, but it's about 21 by 21, but it's not a perfect square.
Okay.
And so it's a big room. I mean, it's got enough room for, the 5 seats, and, steps on each side, and plenty of like space between the speakers. So you're not like being blasted with the sound in one ear. Which, my old theater was sort of like that. My back surrounds in my old theater were like here, like really close to the back row. And obviously when I had, when we built this house, I had the opportunity to like build this room and design it from the ground up. And knowing what I knew back then, and maybe having a little more of a budget, I could kind of like think about what I wanted to do with it, even though, it's like very expensive. I feel like I didn't go crazy. I could have gone way more crazy, way more crazy. Like all the choices I made, I feel like are really, really good. They're not like top of the line stuff, but it's like really good stuff.
Yeah, it's where you got the top of the line before you start getting to those diminishing returns, right? So
that's what I wanted to do. I just want to, because I've heard. I mean, is spending 2 or 3 times more going to like give me that much more joy when I just want to sit down and watch a movie and just be enveloped in the movie experience? I don't need. It's not going to be 2 or 3 times better. It might be 2% better, maybe 5% better. Maybe if you spend enough and you tweak it just right, it's 10% better. But it's never going to be 2 or 3 times better. And it's all about, if you got the money, go for it. But whatever. This is what
since you got subs there, we'll get to your subs in a second, but are you running those DefTechs? Are you running them full range, your LNR?
I think I'm crossing them over at 80, but I'm also running an LFE cable into them as well.
Okay.
So they're getting crossed over. They're getting crossed over to 80, but I'm also running the LFE stage as well.
I see.
LFE cable. So I'm running a splitter. But again, these are 8080 STs. DefTech, they got the 12-inch sub. They got these models. I think they're 5 1/4, 2 5 1/4. So diapolito array. I guess that's what they're called. So they are mid tweeter mid, and back here you got a tweeter and a mid, and it's the last goes out the back. So it's sort of, in the newer ones you can have it full. You can have it 0 0, but this is 6 minus 6 dB in the back. And again, I kept this wall here like completely unobstructed without any absorption, just to kind of like allow the sound to bounce out. And that's sort of after, even though I'm using towers, and yes, these speakers are much higher, like these backs that are I wanted to, I didn't want to like, I wanted them to be all in line. So to sort of look better, even though I should have probably brought down the wides a little bit, and I should have brought down this back surround a little bit more. Right. But I sort of wanted to keep it all like, nice and clean. And I don't think it would have made a huge difference anyway. I just wanted to keep it all like clean and,
Yeah, I
like
did
level.
mine in steps. So I have the wides the same height as the fronts, and then the
Yeah.
direct side surrounds same heights as the towers also, and then the rear for the back row I stepped up like 10 inches, 12 inches, something like that. So yeah, go
But
back to
what I
go
was
back
going
to
to go
this
with this is
go to
since
this. What's going on with the center channel there? What's the
this,
DefTech center channel?
oh, that's the same channel that the other gentleman, I forgot your name, man. I'm sorry. The other gentleman
It's
has,
all
he's
good,
the
buddy.
9080. Uh, it's got two 5 1/4-inch mid bass drivers, an aluminum tweeter. It's got an 8-inch sub, powered sub, and another in a passive radiator. I think it's a little bigger. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the passive radiator. I think it might be the same size. I'm not
Same
entirely sure.
size.
I actually had to.
Yeah.
I made a video about it, but I actually had to replace the amp, the amp on this thing because it, stopped working. I noticed because I ran I think I ran Odyssey, or no, I ran it on my Pioneer, which I forgot the name of the MCAAC or something. I think that's what it's called. And it was like crossing over the center at like 160 hertz or something. So I was like, what the hell's going on? So then the sub had blown. But yeah, they replaced it
I
for
will
free.
say, Adrian, if I could give a caveat on that, DefTech knows that their amps are a weak point right now. It's something they're working
Yeah,
on, and it's the best support that I've ever worked with any of these
I
speaker
agree.
companies. When I got with them, I was like, dude, I tested it with REW. This is where it's crossing over. There's a problem here. I've got extra amps now. Like, they send you amps. They know. Like, they're
Yeah,
working on it. They just send you amps. They don't care.
I
So
think they sent it. I think it was free. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was free. It was under warranty. So
they've sent me two amps for my towers. I haven't had a center channel issue yet, but you call them up and they're like, dude, I crossed it over. It's a problem. They just sent it to you. There's no questions
yeah,
asked. No cost. It's awesome.
So that micro is just looking lonely right there up front in the
yeah.
middle.
I'm making a video about it. It's looks so small. It is small, man. This thing, but it's not bad given how small it is. It's pretty good, pretty good little sub. If maximum wife acceptance factor, that's my pitch
Yeah.
for that thing.
What's a?
That is
I mean,
just
it legit looks like a toilet koozie, like cushion.
yeah,
What
yeah.
is that?
I mean,
Like, legit, what is that?
That's the SES Micro 3.
I know,
that's
but
the
what is the thing puffing out on the front?
Oh, I have
That's
no
on the
idea.
back.
At the back, I believe.
Oh no,
Oh, it's
yeah,
the port.
those are the sides. These are there's two 8-inch subs
No,
on
I
each
was looking at
side.
the
So
back. Sorry, Adrian. I was looking at the back when we were just looking at the back of it.
Yeah, I
okay.
think it's the port.
It's the port. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the front stage. These are SVS PB3000s. Fantastic. My philosophy, a lot of people are different, and a lot of people want to go bigger and better. I think this is like the sweet spot right here, because it's like 80 pounds. It's hard to even move these things, but when you go beyond this, it's almost impossible. You actually need a lot of help and stuff. But I like to be able to move them. I can actually maneuver these things by myself if I need to, and put them somewhere if I got to move them out of the way. So this is like a good solid sub, I think, personally. But
Yep.
and these are bass traps, basically. No, these are the only bass I have in the front. I just have bass traps there and there, and that's it. These are, and I have just absorption for the first, for the first reflections here, and then I got some diffusion. These are some old monitor speakers, DefTech monitors that I've had for ages. I think they're the Monitor 55s or something. Sound pretty good, these things. I really like them. They're pretty bassy too. Um, these are just forgot what they're 2D diffusers. They're
Right.
Are those DIYs or you bought them? What brand of?
GIK.
Okay, GIKs. Okay.
I didn't do anything. I just bought them, and we got somebody to very precisely hang them up, and again, and these are like the SR 9080s. I think I've had them since forever, and I always liked them, and I always felt like they looked like a theater speaker. So I don't
The
know.
panels that you have underneath of those are 4-inch or 2-inch?
These are these here.
Yeah.
These are they're like almost 4. Yeah, I think they're like 4. Yeah,
they're 4 inches. It look 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're 4. They're thick. They have the GIKs. They have a back. They have a built-in like gap. So like the actual material is like maybe 2.5 or something. But there's a built-in gap, which is good.
Which is what they're supposed to have. Yep.
Yeah, they're supposed. It's better to have a bit of a gap, and they built in the gap for these, and and we have a bar here, which we can bring out. This is a newer edition. My wife wanted to say, it's like, what if we have more people? And I'm like, well, 10 people's a lot for a theater. but
hey,
the compromise. I compromised because she wanted to put like a bunch of chairs behind here and stuff. I'm like, no, man, that sucks. I don't want to do that. So we compromised and did this. So, but yeah, we would bring it out so you can face the screen and drink a beer or something, that kind of thing.
Not a bad idea though. I like that idea.
It's because they were actually the doors to go to the closet doors to deal with the rack were here. So now we had like space to do something with it. So we just did that, and then I added the Star Wars poster. And now these are 3D diffusers. These are also from GIK. I forgot the name. They're called quadratic maybe. I'm not sure.
Quadratic diffusion.
Yeah, quadratic diffusers. And again, these are my back surrounds, the same as the 2 sides. And I got some SB2000s back here. These are not the pros. These are like the pre-pros. So they don't have like the app support. It's all knobs and stuff. But these things go deep. 10 hertz. These things hit 10 hertz. Legit. 90 at 90 dB. You're getting 10 hertz with these things. They are the most deep subs I've ever measured in my life. They're like, the PBs are 18 hertz if you're lucky, but you get more output at 18 hertz, and then they kind of fall on their faces because they're ported. But a lot more output. So these are probably anchoring the bass, obviously the PBs, but these, man, they really make your seat vibrate really well.
Which one were those?
The SB2000s. A lot of people say that you're not supposed to mix. These are sealed and those are ported. The way I see it, I think bass is bass, but people say that's a no. I think it sounds pretty good. Ceiling.
It's usually just trying to get them to blend together because of the port tune and stuff like that. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, I know, but these are I've taken measurements, and it sounds to me, it sounds pretty good. Like I haven't even gone.
I would challenge to like who would be able to tell the difference if you didn't know what was in the room and you shrouded the subs. Who would tell the difference? I don't think I would be able to.
And I got the ceiling. They got some absorption in the ceiling there. Oh yeah, and there's a little bit of glare, but up there, those are my in ceilings. I have 6 of them. They're identical, and these are like LCRs. They're not like coaxial. Is that the word? Doesn't have the tweeter. There's a mid bass, a tweeter, and a mid bass in these things, and I think they're 5.25 inch. They say it's more like 5 inch. They're small little drivers, but they're not. I have a thing about like I don't like in ceilings that have like the tweeter embedded within the driver. I just don't like that. So these work. These are more like in walls, but I put them on the ceiling, and there's 6 of them. And but yeah, that is I think that's the seats. The seats are Seatcrafts. They're pretty cheap. They do the job. They're all plugged in, and they all recline, and they all do a pretty good job.
Now, did you construct the theater yourself, or did you have someone do it? Was it a DIY project?
When we built the house, me and my wife, we had a builder, and we said I wanted to have it was like part of the build contract to get the carpeting, the steps put in, you know, the trim, all this trim and stuff. And the painting, when we painted the theater black, that was all extra because the original contract, the theater was gray. This theater was like a dark gray before, and now it's all like super black. Like is black.
What did
black
you
is like,
use for paint on the walls?
It's a Benjamin Moore color. It's just called black. I think it is literally the darkest color they make. It's got a LRV of 4.5. It's really low.
Yeah.
So you would have to go with like velvet or like some material, you know, fuzzy material on the walls to get it lower. But yeah, it really did help. Really did help.
Yeah, I like the fact that it matches your panels. I mean, it's
yeah. I mean, the panel, it looked cool before, but the panels like look great. I mean, now it just looks like it looks like a theater. It's like it looks legit.
It definitely looks phenomenal.
We got a question for you. So, what distance are your seats from the screen, your front and back?
Oh yeah. So the fronts. Let me see. The fronts are about I think 13 or 14 feet.
Oh wow.
Something like that. I think it's like 13 feet. No, maybe. It's definitely not it's more than, I think it's like 13 feet.
Just lay on the ground and roll around and let us know. No.
It's a good amount. It's like 13 feet, I'm pretty sure. And the back seats are about 16, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it looks like looks like about 5 feet between there and the back wall. So that's about
17 feet, yeah. So and there's 4 feet, about 4 feet from here to there. So yeah, about 17 feet. Yeah, that's 17 feet. And the throw distance from the is about 18. I'm gonna say, yeah, 18 from the projector to the.
So
to the screen.
what remote are you using on Control 4? What are you using for your theater?
I have two options. Let me turn these lights off. There's too much glare. So I got a tablet, obviously. Oh, no. Don't want to do that right now.
It's time for an update.
Yeah. There's the theater. That's the Control 4. This is just an Android tablet because you can run the app anywhere on your phone. So it'll look about the same. And this is the I think it's the Neo. This is the
that's not the most recent remote, but the one before that, right?
No, this is the most recent, but it's not touchscreen. They make it touchscreen. This is the Neo non-touchscreen, so it works with the buttons.
I see.
And I have ones that are like, I also have the touchscreen ones. I have 2 of those as well, like one for the rec room and one for my family room. And yeah, they work great. The battery life I wish was better. That's my only complaint. Battery life could use some improvement. But you know, I just turned on Zydo for no reason. There you go. So yeah, good. Yeah, the projector just went on. Let me think. Did I miss anything?
How'd you like that 6050 though? It's really
good,
right?
Yeah, man, this thing it's a workhorse. This thing, it does the job. I love it.
That's the one you got, right, Paul? The 6050.
Yep, that's the one I have.
I want to have 3D, and to get 3D in a JV, I guess the MP5 has 3D, right? Am I the JVC?
All the models of the JVCs has 3D. The Sonys do not.
I don't think it's as bright as this one though. I wanted brightness.
Right.
Yep.
And
that's a 16 by 9 screen, correct?
That is 16 by 9. My argument is.
What size is it?
165.
Oh wow.
Man, I wish I went for a bigger screen, man.
Yeah, so if he's doing 165 and he does a constant height in there on that, he's only losing about 8 inches on that 16 by 9 screen. So
yeah, it's 156, like in scope.
Yep.
So it's still pretty big. It's plenty big. It really is.
Absolutely.
So I get best of both worlds. My philosophy with like scope is like to do it right. costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always use lens memory, but you're losing resolution, right? I think, yeah.
Now, do you
When you,
do any masking or anything like that when you play
I
like a
don't.
240 or anything?
I really don't. I just don't. It's it doesn't bother if the gray bars are like. I mean, with the black walls and all the black in here, it's actually not bad. The black levels are solid. It's really not bad. Here, I just see. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see what I've been watching.
He was
So
watching Looper.
yeah, there's Looper. I was not lying.
There's the Full Metal Jacket that you were talking about.
And then I got I love Zydew. I mean, it's solid. It does, you know, it works. It works. You can play 3D. Does Dolby Vision. It does, even though there's no, the projector doesn't do it, but I have other stuff that can.
What's that device that goes in between to allow you to pass Dolby Vision, like the Zoom or something like that?
HD Fury.
HD Fury, yeah.
But this, the Zydew has. See, okay, the Zydew.
If I play low latency Dolby Vision, it has LLDV.
It does.
Right?
It does have some. It has something that can kind of. What the hell? Let me show you. Let me just.
Yeah, it has the I think it has the LLDV. I tried to use it though, but it wasn't. Yeah.
So when I go to, if I go to HDR and I go down to this.
Yeah, it has that.
I have it selected. So Dolby Vision for Dolby Vision content, use the VS engine, the Dolby Vision VS engine thing, and that does its little. It does its like tweaking for Dolby Vision.
It also has the low latency LLDV option that wraps Dolby Vision and HDR10.
Yeah, there's also a thing that you can do for people if you go into your settings where you just were, and you go down to your EDID, and you basically select Samsung or something
Sony,
that allows Dolby Vision, and you hit play on your movie, it will show the Dolby Vision logo on your 6050 for those people that are.
This engine works well. I just leave it. I haven't messed with that. I mean that I didn't know about that. That's really, I'll have to check it out. But again, that engine thing, that Dolby engine thing worked pretty good.
And the nice thing about I think the HD Fury, I need to get one, but I think you can set it to where you can limit it'll take your Dolby Vision and restrict it to whatever your
output of your projector. Yes, you can select the max. I think it's the max CLI and minimum and maximum.
Yeah, so that way
you can set the needs to whatever.
So it'll give you a better Dolby Vision because it sets the reference, kind of like on your, and I'm sure you have this on your 6050. If you go into the dynamic or the the range for the color spectrum from 0 to 255.
Yep.
Really, you need to set that to 16 to 235 because otherwise you're not getting black levels for the first 16 steps of any media. It will, if you set that to 16 to 235, your black levels will increase by like threefold watching movies.
You mean that's not it. I know what you're talking about. The setting that's meant for computers displays.
Yes.
The color space.
Yeah, the colors.
Find it. I forgot where it is.
But
I think I have it set to like TV. You said
you got to change that to 16.
16 to 5.
Yeah, I used to have it in my old theater. I used to use a home theater PC, and I would use it at the 0 to 235 or 255.
Yeah, but even then, the content that you're playing on the computer still doesn't send out.
I'm trying to remember.
It doesn't convert it, so it's pretty.
If I play a movie, will it be like demonetized or something?
You probably want to mute it. At least mute the volume.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I don't need to do that. I'm trying to Where the hell is that?
I mean, we're not monetized anyway, but you know.
Oh, it's either in advanced.
You might just get flagged for
or
copyright.
it's in go back and go to Signal. I think it's in Signal Advanced or something like that. Go to Signal, go to Advanced, and then video range. Yeah, your video range.
Video range, it should be.
Yeah, lock that 16 to 255. Yeah, is usually what you'll do. But that depends on the.
I think I have it set on the Zydu like that as well.
Yeah. So. And that will increase your black levels because a lot of people will do PCs or whatever, and it's like, no, because that's
the color range is different.
Unless you're playing a source that the reference is 0 to 16, it's not the same. Anyways, it's just one of those things where if you wanted the Epson line to look worse, you set that to 0 to 255, and it's like, oh, look at how gray it is.
I got it there. Set to...
Yep. There you go. Yeah.
So it's yeah. But yeah, I left it on auto, and I'm pretty sure that for most circumstances,
if you have your source set like that on the Zydu, it takes care of that. Yep.
Yeah, I know. Try to do it from the first, right?
Yep.
And and with this screen, I can run it at medium, and it's fine. And medium power consumption.
Dude, I run mine on eco just because I'm sitting right underneath the projector because the fan kicks on the minute you turn it on to medium.
Medium, I mean, medium isn't that bad in my opinion. But...
No, it's not. It's really good actually. It's better, but I'm just like, oh, I gotta run eco.
Yeah, because your seat is right under the projector.
Yeah, so. It's literally right underneath it, so the fan kicks on. It's not loud comparatively, but it's
pretty close. But it's not too bad. And I got the absorber right here, the sound absorber. So maybe that'll help. But
so where's your money sit? Do you sit on the front row or the back row?
I always sit in the back. Even in like a normal theater, I'm in the back of the theater. Oh, yeah. Like if I go to like a movie theater, like not even my own, I'm always in the back.
So
the front works fine.
You calibrate for your MLP at the back.
Oh yeah, that's where I go. And
did you use ARC to calibrate?
I do.
Okay.
I do. But again, these are, since I have 17 like bed layers, 11 bed layers. These are like the same signal.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing because I don't have
Trinov money. I don't have Storm Audio money, so this.
Adrian, what I was thinking is, and these guys, I know Paul's kind of talked me out of doing this, but I was thinking of putting a mini DSP, splitting that side surround out and adding delay to the back speaker to see if I could, the back surround, see if I can generate it,
like it would only work if you don't move, right?
Right.
If you're always sitting in the, do you have 2 rows or I imagine you do.
I'm having 2 rows. Yep.
I don't know. I mean, like I don't even bother. Like I actually don't even tweak. In my old theater, I would spend hours upon hours trying to get my bass response just right. And to be honest, I haven't spent more than like 30 minutes. I've taken measurements. I'm like, that looks pretty good. It's like, and I'm done.
Hey, I'm like, I'm at some point you do have to put the tweaking down and enjoy the content, right?
Yeah.
For some people, it's the journey. I'm like, I'm at the destination. Like, I just don't. I don't want to. I want to be done with the journey, and that's why we sort of rushed and got it all done, and because the old theater, it took me 8 years to get it to that, almost 8 years to get it to like the final state point, and this one is we just rushed, did it in months, and that now I'm like, I don't want to mess with it anymore. I'm like, done.
I agree. So do me a favor, talk a little bit about this package, the GIK package that you got. Did you consult them? How did you go about that?
I did not. I didn't consult them. I just, to be honest, I just listened to like Audioholics. Their pod, you know, they had like 2 or 3 long podcasts where they talked about with Anthony Gramani,
right?
And they just talked about acoustics for like hours, and I
Mm-hmm.
just listened to them, and just took, you know, I found like one image that sort of that he said this is like a good recipe for like good room acoustics, and I just took that image and just tried to, using what GIK had, try to get to it as close as I could using their stuff.
I see.
You know, obviously it's a little different. He's got some, I think he's got some, he had some like diffusion in the ceiling. I didn't do that.
Right.
I just went with, I kind of got as close as I could, because he also talked about like percentages of like absorption per wall. And you might think that I have a lot, but this is actually a pretty big room. And it's like for the ceiling, for instance, I think I have 400 and something square feet of ceiling, and I'm only absorbing 32 square feet of it, because it's you know, four times, you know, 8 times.
Yeah, you got like 421 square feet is what you got there. 21 by 21.
So I'm only absorbing what, 8% of it, 7%.
Right.
And the sides are I'm doing a little bit better. I think I'm close to where I'm about where he said it should be for the side walls. And the front wall, there's just nothing really. There's really nothing. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I was curious because I mean, you did a great job setting this up, and I was curious if you consulted, because I know GIK, they will actually give you free consultation. To
I
do
know.
this.
I just sort of, I did my research, and I sort of knew. I mean, I had done my old room a little bit, not to this extent. I only did absorption in that one. I didn't do any diffusion. So I sort of had an idea of what I wanted to do, and then again, I watched them talk about it for hours, and then I just sort of figured it out. And then
those 2D,
again, that was
2D
part of my
diffusers
journey. My
that you got
journey
floor
to
to
this theater
ceiling
was years long. It took me years to get here, because a lot of it was research that I did from before. Like, we decided we were going to build this house, we were going to build the theater. So I started doing research. And then like a year out, maybe like 8 months away from the move, I started buying stuff. Like, started buying all this stuff. I bought the Anthem. And I actually installed it in the old theater, did a review on it and all that. So it's like, whatever, I might as well buy it now. And I was actually waiting to see if Emotiva would actually, because they promised that their top of the line processor was going to be able to process more than 15 channels, but they never did it. And that was, had they done it, I would have probably gone with that, because I wanted to have
28 channels. They were promising 28 channels,
but they never did. I don't know what's going on.
Coming soon.
4 years later.
This never did it, and they stopped. It's like buried in their website. Like, you can find it a little bit, maybe like a half a sentence about it, but it's not. They're not really advertising it. I don't think. They must have come up with some kind of problem with doing it.
Well, there was I think it would take 2 separate chips for them, right? So they would have to put a whole nother chip in there too to be able to do it.
If they put it out and they got it out, if they got it out on the market for $7,000, I think people would buy it. Because that's what I think.
There's just been a lot of issues with that. What is it? The RMC1. Yeah, there's just been a lot of issues with the.
Another turnoff is the interface is sort of old looking, and I mean the Anthem has no on-screen menu. It's just like it's all on the app, or it's on your laptop or on a computer. Really, you have a limited. I mean, you have just volume. It just tells you the volume and the input. Now it's on Zadu, but the Anthem's fantastic. I really think it's a really solid processor for the money.
Web interface for the Anthem is really good, though.
It's fantastic. It's really it makes up for it makes up for it. It's really good. It makes up for the fact that it doesn't have on screen. I wish it did.
So what about which one do you have, the 70 or the 90?
I have the 70.
Okay.
I just again for the bass, I'm splitting it. I just use splitters, and for the PBs, I can go on the app and tweak it a bit. So, sort of fill in a little bit with it, if I need to. But I haven't really gone into that.
So have you ever done any measurements for like your decay time, your RT60
I
or
did.
anything like that?
It worked. I have some of my last video, my last tours, 2 tours. I actually post a before and after, and it's definitely flattened it out and lowered the decay time. It was it had a bit of a hump, so it's sort of like how this goes down like this. It's like, and then in the old theater, it's hard to see, it's a little choppy, but it sort of had a hump. But in this one, it's like it goes down and it's like nice and flat. It's like it's almost the way it should be, like perfectly. It's not like I wouldn't say it's like perfect, but it's like really good.
So those of you that aren't subscribed to Adrian's channel, make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe to it. Check out his videos. It's Upscaled.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the chat. I'll put a link in the chat now. So
make sure you guys go over and check him out. Subscribe to his channel. Show him some love. So, but yeah, I mean, this theater looks phenomenal, man, and that's the whole reason why I reached out to you, right? I saw your theater. I saw a post that a video that you did on it, and reached out to you, and it's just gorgeous. I love the carpet. I love everything about it. I'm not a huge fan of all black theaters all the time, but I mean, this just looks great, man. I mean, it really, really does. It looks really nice. He did it
really well, because here's the thing: although the walls are all black, it's not all black.
Yeah, it doesn't feel all black.
The fact that the carpet is a light color, but yet it is, whoever did the design, I don't know if you chose the carpet, is my wife, really good, because
my wife helped with the carpet.
Okay. Well, you can tell her she has a designer's eye, because what it does is it brings contrast to the room, but yet it complements the black walls. So it makes it a very cohesive flow. But like what people are seeing is they're not seeing black on black on black on black. Yeah. But yet it's still, hey, this is it's still very aesthetically pleasing, not just a black hole. And that's all because of that carpet. I can tell you that right now.
Oh no, I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of the theater.
It's amazing, and the light wood. Like anyone in the home theater community would tell you, no, not that. No, don't do that. But dude, beautiful. That looks amazing.
I agree. I would have never have touched that. Like, I don't care how much it would have brought down what the reflections back to the screen by like 0.5%, maybe.
Yeah, like 0.001. It's like, oh no. But dude, the aesthetics of that, just the floor alone, makes this look amazing.
Yeah. And the layout of the acoustic panels, I've just been admiring it, man. I'm like, man, that's one of the cleanest lineup of acoustic panels I've seen, man. Like it blends right into the walls.
Yeah, I was. It took me a while. I was going with like tape and just, okay, so this one goes here, and and then I obviously I had to make a few like last minute changes, because I bought some other bass traps, and they were like triangular that fit direct, within the corner really well.
And the wedge,
yeah, like wedge shape. But then they were like really flimsy, and I wouldn't recommend them. So I just went with their thickest. Actually, the ceiling ones they're the same. They're the same ones.
So what are they? 6 or 8 inch?
They're the thickest ones. I think they're 6 inches or something. And and they obviously, and there's a big gap behind it, so that's that's helping with the bass as well. But yeah, that's right.
So what? Can you go to the 2D diffusion panel, because I'm interested in those. I want to see how deep, or if you can guesstimate, how far off the wall do they come? Because I got 4 inches that's going to go behind my 4 inches that's going to come off my drywall to put acoustics in and speakers and stuff.
They're. Let me see. They're. I mean, like, how far off the wall are they?
Yeah, if you
Like,
could, if you could
there's a bit
guesstimate,
of. There's maybe a half an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch, depending on where it lands.
and what's
Maybe
the
at the very
depth of
top, it's
them?
about
Like,
half an
are
inch.
they the same depth as that panel that's right next to
I
it, the
think they're about
absorption
6
panel? Or would
inches
you
as
say?
well. Even though that Anthony Gramani said that they should be 8 inches or even 10 inches because it just like diffuses better. They didn't have that, so I just went with what they had.
I see.
So I just went with
So
the
in all,
water.
it's about 4 inches off the wall, front to back.
No, I'm gonna say no. They're about 6 inches off the wall.
Okay,
These are about 4. These are like these guys are like 4.
I see. Okay.
So these are about 6, maybe 6 to 7, depending on the gap. There's a bit of a gap behind it.
Yeah, so I
So.
wouldn't be able to put that behind my fabric. Then it would stick out. It
Oh,
would
you're gonna
protrude.
do like fabric? Wow, I thought about doing that, but that's beyond my skill set. I
Yeah,
couldn't figure that out.
I'm gonna give her a whirl. I mean, it's gonna be after I get the drywall set up and stuff like that, and get
You
all the
can
speakers
do.
go.
You might have to go with just like quadratic, but these are thick. These are even deeper. I think these are like 7 inches, maybe 7 or 8.
I know they put diffusion behind those panels all the time. So
You can
behind
do
the
it.
fabric, so I just got to figure out something that's thin enough and functionable.
GIK sells panels like these same panels, but with the scatter plate.
Right.
I don't know how beneficial that would be because we're talking about like a quarter of an inch of scattering. It's not going to do very much, in my opinion. So I don't even know if it's worth the extra. I don't think it's a lot of money to add per panel, but it's not deep enough. I don't think. Like you need because we're talking about we're trying to change the direction of these sound waves, and you just need enough. You need some spacing, some here it sort of hits and evenly distributes it, I guess. And it, even though they say it does help with the bass absorption, I guess, to a certain level as well. But I don't know. But here in fact, I don't think these are even quite deep enough, but they're definitely. I mean, at the deepest here, we're talking I can fit most of my hand.
Okay.
And here it's like maybe to my maybe my second knuckle. And here it's even so I'm sure there's some science to these things. I don't know exactly how, but this is shallower, and they're all like
I think for different frequencies.
Depths. They're different depths. They're little holes, channels, or whatever they're called.
Are you able to turn the overhead lights off and shine your camera at the screen so we can kind of get an idea?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can. Here, I'll change this screensaver thing. I can lower the volume and play a movie for half a second. Here, I'll just mute. Where's the mute button? I don't even hit it ever. There. So I'll just.
Yeah, is there a mute button on this theater? Nope.
I rarely hit the mute button. There's just. So I can do the front lights. Takes a second there to spin up. Got to spin up the hard drives on the server and all that stuff. Well, I didn't show you guys the server, but let me skip a scene or so. There you go.
Oh yeah, that's got a good picture.
Oh yeah. Let me lower the. Yeah, I got no volume going on this just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and this is 1080p, this movie, but the projector does its little upscaling thing that the TVs can do. It actually looks pretty sharp.
It does look very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, we definitely appreciate you showing us your multitude of theaters.
I got I'm not gonna go upstairs right now. The kids are asleep, but the theater, there's a family theater as well. That's all. It's an all in ceiling theater. Like, and I did it. I feel like, well, let me get back on the main camera, and then I can go back to there.
Yeah. How about your server rack? Your movie storage. What do you use?
Here, let me just. Should I just hang up in this one? Okay, I'm gonna
you
go back to the other one.
You can hang up on this. And I'll switch us back. And Eric did leave, so.
All right. No, did this thing die?
Yeah,
Oh,
your camera is off. Yeah, it looks like the battery went down. It's been plugged.
Shit.
It's fine. You can just jump back on your phone.
Back to the phone. It's like, dang it. Yeah, that's my luck.
That's what happens when you get all of us.
Hey, sorry,
together.
guys.
Stuff just keeps. We run the batteries down, right? we got the show going so long. We run all your batteries down.
Yeah, I'm going to just switch him over to this.
There we go.
Yeah, let me flip the screen.
Yeah, your camera's dead.
I'm
so
on my phone now.
Yeah, that's fine. That works.
I don't know how to flip the screen, but here. I don't know how to do it.
River Slim, are you referring to Don's background? Yeah, those are some Govee cotton lights.
Yeah.
Oh, here. I think I got it. Front.
Yeah, you can just flip.
There you go. There.
Yeah. And it's a blank screen, but
it reconnects when you change the camera. It drops.
Yeah, it drops you whenever you turn the camera.
That's
around.
weird,
Yeah,
right?
That is one thing.
Oh, there we go. Hi.
Sorry. That's one thing that I think they need to fix in this application.
No, but remember, we've had one or two occasions where it didn't hang up, right? That's what I don't understand. I feel like it might be if it's like maybe is anybody using an Android phone?
Could be the device.
Yeah, I think it's probably iOS that it just doesn't work because we've had a few people come in and switch. We just never know what device they're using.
That could be.
Yeah, so for your movie storage, Adrian, so what do you use? Do you use a NAS drive or?
Well, it's sort of okay. So I started with a NAS drive, like not even a Synology. It was like a Western Digital thing. It's called the WEX4 or something. It's really old. Like we're talking ancient. This thing, and it still works. I had to replace the fan on it once. That one holds about 34 terabytes. And that one I have like my like HD. I got more HD movies. I moved all my 4K stuff off because it's not terribly fast. Maybe you got like 40 megabytes per second. It's enough, but it's still. I have another. So I built another server. I just built it myself, and I just run Windows on it, and I just like shared my drives onto my network, and made my own, like sort of like NAS using Windows. So it's just a computer that's running all the time. And on that thing I have I just added it all up. I have 165 terabytes in total.
Wow.
And I'm using about maybe 60%. So I got a lot of room left. So
you are using a lot of room. 60%. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, 4K movies take up a lot of room, and I use 3D takes up a lot. With 3D, when you play 3D, when you rip a 3D movie, you have to rip, it's like we're talking minimum 30 gigabytes per movie, typically. Sometimes they're a little less, but they go up to 38, 40 gigabytes. So they're pretty big, and I have maybe about 80 to 90 of those things at this point. My 4K collection is about 230 something, maybe 250, and a lot of HD. A lot of just good old fashioned Blu-ray quality stuff in there. One thing I do is I don't when I rip an HD movie like a Blu-ray, I typically re-encode it to H because it's H.264 and I re-encode it to H.265 to save space, but it keeps the same quality. So I just do like 50% less bit rate because if just to save the space. And if I'm only going to watch the movie like once in a blue moon, it doesn't make sense for me to like waste 30 to 40 gigs on like one HD movie because our codecs have gotten better over time. So I just do that.
Yeah.
So
Go on. No, I was gonna say there are only very few movies that I really get crazy about wanting 100% quality. For many of the other movies, it's just like, look, if it's clean and clear enough and good enough for me, that's good. It doesn't have to be, that perfect quality. Nah, it's
yeah, I
just
hear you.
really good.
But what I do, I keep the when I re-encode it, I keep the lossless track and all that it looks the same. It's just taking up less than half the bit rate, about half the bit rate. So I usually cap it out at 13 megabits for the video, and I keep the lossless track, and then it's the same. It really is the same. Maybe a little bit of posterization when you watch a video, a little bit of like that compression noise, but it's rare, and it sort of goes away when you use a slower compression method. But for like once in a blue moon, kind of like I'm gonna watch the movie, it looks fine. It looks really good. You would never tell the difference most of the time. But for 4K, I keep it like I used to do the compression thing just to save a little space before I did my big like server upgrade, but now I just don't. I just like because the only way to keep Dolby Vision on the file is to rip it full. You can't alter it, or you lose the metadata. Yep. So that's something I do. I just don't. I just rip them now. Whatever. If they're 70.
So are you using MKV for that to rip?
Yeah, make it MKV. I also rarely use DVD Fab. I like to make MKV more.
Yep, so that's what I use, and I've actually donated to them. I don't know if a lot of people have done that, but
I did too. I have the license.
Yeah,
I bought a license, or I did donate.
It's
I don't think
cool.
It was like
it's
$40.
Cool it's in beta, yeah, but it's like, man, that's something that after a lot of situations like that where it's like, oh, it's beta for this, and then it's like a horrible product, and you're just like, hell no. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna lock it down and you're never gonna be able to use it again. They're like legit and it works, and it's just like, man, you almost feel guilty not donating to it. It's like, man, you guys have done an amazing job at this.
It's incredible. The only, the occasionally you find a disc with like 100 different versions of the movie. that's pretty rare. And you got to go on a forum and figure out the right one.
Lionsgate, or you can do the hack where you can look at if you can't find it on a forum, you can actually play the movie, and there's other software that you can actually view that tells you what file it's actually playing.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's how they're doing that. Like, you'll play it, and then there's other metadata file programs that will basically show you, oh, you're playing XX800, and then you'll know, oh, okay, that's the one I need to grab. So, like, all Disney movies are 800.
Yep.
Sony's are, there's a lot of Lionsgates are the ones that you'll have the most problem with.
Oh yeah,
that's the ones that have like 1,000 different ones, and all it is like one extra character or bit on a database. So that's all they're doing, right? A lot of people think that it's like, oh, it isn't one for one because whatever. But in reality, all it is a big database table, and it just has like, oh, also play this one segment. Pixel over here. Yeah, one segment, which might be like one frame. So they're literally making it look like, oh, there's 80 gigs times 1,000 on this disc. It's a Blu-ray. There's not,
there's limited
that's space. Not. It's just database sort of driven, almost like it's not a database. It's more like an LDAP type of situation, in the background. But I love backing up all my stuff and having it because I like watching movies just like everybody. But I literally got to the point to where I'm like, I have 3 copies of Ready Player One because I couldn't find it in my stash. I was like, oh, I want to watch this again. And I was like, shit, where is it? I was like, oh, I'm going to have to buy it because I had so many movies, like rows upon rows upon rows of movies. And I'm like,
I do take care of that. I mean,
I was able to keep track up until about 1,000 movies of what I actually had and what I didn't. But after that, I was like,
you're more organized than me. I lost track at about 600 or 700. I'm like, damn it, I don't even know which box that's in because I don't want to display 600. I used to do that, but then it starts to look cluttered to me unless it's. I just don't want all that shown. Like I wouldn't mind a few like maybe custom cases or steel box sets out, but not in my living room. I like your one. My old theater in my house in Indiana looks like your the one with all the in walls. That's almost exact. I didn't have white. I had cream walls, but that's exactly what my old theater looked like. All in walls. Everything was flush. Like you didn't even know there was subs in there or anything, and it was pretty cool.
It was sort of mandated, let's just put it that way, to get. I mean,
I love that look. I
do. I think it's fine. I prefer like in-room speakers. I think they're just better, even though there are pros and cons, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm not such an audio purist or nerd. No, yeah, I love audio, but I'm just not. It's all for the enjoyment for me. I don't need it to be perfect. I've sort of given up. I'm never gonna get it perfect.
Nope.
I've resigned myself to thinking like that, and I'm just here for the enjoyment. And like I said, I'm at my destination. I'm just here to enjoy.
Yeah, and I think last week when you were on the show for the first time, you mentioned that you use your theater almost every night, correct?
Almost, yeah, pretty much like I try every 2 to 3 minimum two times a week. Minimum.
Yeah.
Like I'm in there and I've been doing it more because I'm just addicted to this room. This is like the coolest room I've ever been in.
Yeah,
I love this.
It's definitely beautiful. You did a fantastic job on it. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there wasn't a fingerprint on any of the equipment in the equipment racks.
Well,
there was.
I recently dusted it, so pretty good, and I tried.
It was like the guys that
put
the vacuum marks in the carpet, right?
But that was hard because they kept everything we kept the racks intact while they did the renovation in the closet.
Oh wow!
They just covered it in plastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a huge pain in the ass to get it, and the amount of white dust, because they literally broke walls down and like to expand that closet to where. I mean, I made a little video on that as well.
I didn't literally have to tape off and create a negative pressure zone in order to keep dust out. And
they did do something like that. They made like there was plastic everywhere, and they taped the door. They did something, and it really did. It kept I would say like 95% of the dust in the closet.
So did you for your theater, did you hang all the speakers on the wall, or did you have somebody an AV company do that, or did you?
I think I just got some guys to do it. Like I got my integrator, put them on the wall. I rehung them myself after the renovation. I mean, I can do it. I just I guess I'd prefer not to. I guess.
Right.
With stuff that's on the wall, I just don't. I'm fine with doing stuff in the rack and stuff. That's fine. Like connecting stuff, I just don't like. I'm not good at precisely measuring things, and I would rather just get a guy to get it all perfect.
I understand. It looks phenomenal. So you did a whomever hung it, and I mean, you designed it, you showed them what you wanted, so I
I
mean,
drew I drew like I drew it on a piece of paper, like where everything where I wanted everything, and like the wall, at least one of the side walls, and they said just mirror it on the other side, basically.
yeah.
And yeah, it was
No, it's definitely one of my favorite blacked out rooms that I've seen. So, I mean, it definitely looks, the panels give it a nice dimension, so you're not just looking at flat walls, and it really does bring some character to the room with all the panels and the speakers you have. Now, are those bipole speakers, the side surrounds?
they are
Yeah.
they're
So are you
bipolar,
running
not
both
dipolar,
sides of them?
bipolar. Dipolars aren't good for Atmos. That's what I hear, at least. Bipolars are okay.
Right.
So they're good because they diffuse the sound pretty well. I mean, I always, again, I think they look the part, and whether or not you get some what's the word I'm looking for? Not crosstalk, not ghosting,
Phase issues?
phase issues. Yeah, I don't know. It's possible, but
Yeah.
to me, to my ears, it sounds like I have a massive surround speaker on the
No,
walls.
I mean, look, I mean, there's a ton of companies that make those speakers exactly that way. Martin Logan makes the FX series, Def Tech. There's countless companies that make those speakers, the bipoles. So it's, you know, I was in Michael's theater, and he had the FXs on the wall, and they were exactly like that. And
Yeah.
sounds phenomenal, sounds great,
They do.
and to your point that you made as soon as we yourself and Eric made about Def Tech, when I went to M Wave last year, the JVC room had Def Tech in it, and it was only like a 5.2 room. There was no Atmos, there was no nothing else, and they had a K-scape hooked up to the projector. Obviously, their main objective was to showcase the projector. But I tell you what, those Def Techs that they had in that room, they sounded great. I mean, they definitely livened up the room. I mean, it was. I was surprised when they turned them on. I was like, "Whoa, this sounds really good for a 5.2 system." So it's
I
that.
mean, you don't need Atmos to have awesome surround, man. Like you just that. I
Yeah.
mean, if you set it up right, and
Yep.
you seriously don't need it. I mean, it's a great. I mean, I wouldn't go back. I love
Right.
Atmos, really great. But man, if you got a good 5.1, you're in good shape
Yep.
with good speakers, and you set it up right.
90% of
You
your
can,
movie
Yep.
yeah, exactly. A lot of people.
5.1
All you
still.
need is get a good center. Center's a lot of the movie too. Very important.
Yeah.
Arguably the most important speaker, I would
Yeah.
say.
I was surprised at how well they sounded.
Yeah,
In that.
they're no complaint. I mean, they still work. I mean, that's the thing about speakers. They're not like there's no HDMI ports. There's no standard changes. They just keep
You
working
just work.
as long
Yep.
as these knock on wood, as long as the sub amps in them built into them don't fail, which they have. And I think maybe this generation maybe they use better amps. That's what I'm guessing because they're
Yeah.
really good. I try not to push them too hard too because
Yeah.
the other subs do most of the heavy lifting, and I know SVS, so they're always going to have amps if they blow one or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they'll give you the new generation. I mean, if you're right on the cusp of you bought an older one on a sellout, a discount, but your warranty is still going and they have a new model, dude, that's where I'm, a lot of the stuff I'm more for I'll buy something for the warranty,
Yeah,
versus the quality so that's what a lot of I like about like SBS does the YouTube channel and stuff like that.
Hmm.
They're getting into a little bit of the esoteric stuff, you know, with their newer line, but you kind of have to. You can't blame them for that. You know,
No.
Yeah.
that's how you're gonna make the money, right?
I haven't
But
heard any of their speakers, but I've heard really good things.
yeah,
I've heard, obviously I like their subs, but
yeah,
definitely have to check them out one day.
as long as
Yeah.
their
I can't
service stays the same, man, they'll start trampling these other companies. You know?
reviewing speakers is hard, man, because they are big and bulky, and what do just
Yeah, and when I first got into this hobby, I mean, I've been into it for quite some time, but when I started doing some serious research, to build a theater and stuff like that, used to hear about all the YouTubers talking about clips and everything else. But now, it was a lot of clips this, a lot of clips that, and now, honestly, I don't see very many reviews on clips anymore. I do see reviews on DefTech. I do see reviews on, the Arendales. Those are spread all over the place. But I've said this a lot on this channel that, when I went to M-Wave, I didn't hear the difference in speakers going room to room to room. And this one, I went from JTR to uh, Martin Logan to the Perlissons. I didn't hear a lot of difference in the sound effects. Where I heard the differences in the speakers was in the score, was in the music, the background music and stuff like that. So, and I got a lot of people saying the same exact thing. The focal areas that I listened to there, the high ends were more pronounced with those particular speakers, and the 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 the, the SVS speakers that were there, they had it was like a 5.2 5.4 setup that they had at M-Wave. I mean, absolutely blew you away. It really, really sounded great.
Yeah.
For the amount of money that they had in that room. I think they said it was like $6,000. They did have height speakers in that room because they were using the prime elevations. So I left those off. I think they had four height speakers in that room, and I think they were using four. What was it? The PB-4000s or 3000s in that room? I can't remember.
I don't think it was the 4. I think it was the 3s.
Yeah, but I mean, for that room that they had there, I mean, that was just a phenomenal sounding room. I mean, it definitely held its own for the $6,000 or $7,000 that they had in that room, compared to, a per listen room that was easily $30,000-$40,000 in speakers. So it's yeah, the def text, that what I'm trying to get is the def text definitely do the job, and you got a fantastic room there.